Chairman Knight, President Zabrowski, fellow administrators, faculty, staff, and last but certainly not least, student knights. Welcome. I add my personal and warmest welcome to the welcomes that have already been extended to you. I'm delighted. One could almost say that I am tickled pink to be here, except that these are Harvard crimson robes, and don't forget it. I am delighted to join the faculty and the administration in donning academic regalia in order to honor and address you in this assembly, which, as President Zabrowski has noted, is our annual college convocation. A convocation is a coming together of faculty and staff and students, and it's to celebrate a great event. It's to celebrate a new beginning. It's to celebrate the start of another academic year. But we're also gathered to reflect on the end, meaning the goal of completing a liberal arts education. And we're going to complete it here in the context of a wholesome and uplifting environment. The faculty, the staff, the administration, they work daily to ensure that that environment is here, that it stimulates you intellectually, that it stimulates you spiritually. I trust that the combination of intellect and spirit will be felt today by all who are in attendance. But to start, what can I say about the first part of this incredible year of 2013? I mean, what a year it has been to date. From the 5K for 5K race, inspired by our very own Lynn Zabrowski. Sister Zabrowski, stand up. We raised $200,000 in scholarships. $200,000. From that event to the national and indeed international coverage of Governor Mitt Romney's commencement speech, the first quarter of this year has been truly extraordinary. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the great and noble cause that is Southern Virginia University. And while I'm thanking, I wish to thank you in advance for supporting our football team. Tonight at 9 p.m., we're going to have a pep rally next door in the arena, and tomorrow at 1 p.m., the team will play Methodist University at the Perry McClure High School field. Would the football team and Coach Fitzgerald please stand and be recognized? And now all together. Thank you. And now for my oration. It was the Roman poet Horace who opined that great literature, and by extension a great liberal arts education, should be dulce et utile, a Latin phrase meaning sweet and useful. That is, enjoyable and instructive, pleasant and also profitable. In my remarks today, I'd like to focus first on how liberal arts education can be literally profitable, and then on how it can be immensely enjoyable. So I begin with a question for the students who are present. Who among you would like to earn $1 million as a result of no more than 4 years of work? If that interests you, please wave your hand. Faculty? No, faculty, you have taken a vow of poverty. You will not wave your hands. Chairman Knight, it appears that capitalism is alive and well on this campus. It's also amazing to me how so many of the students are now sitting up and taking notes now that the $1 million prize has been announced. I shall now reveal, drum roll, how you students can accomplish this feat. To answer, I quote from Dr. Vincent Tinto. He's one of America's most distinguished educators. There is little question that higher education pays. On average, people who go to college and complete a bachelor's degree earn over $1 million more during their lifetime than those who do not go to college. Dr. Tinto goes on to state that on a range of outcomes, from personal development, health, and the like, evidence abounds that college graduates fare far better than non-graduates. Please note, to earn the extra $1 million, it is not enough just to attend college. You must stay the course. You must run the entire race. You must complete your bachelor's degree. In order to graduate within 4 years, let me share with you 4 tried and true keys to success. This is it. This is how you will earn your extra million. Number 1, know what to do to succeed. Through meeting regularly with your professors and advisors, studying carefully the online information, and planning thoughtfully your semester-by-semester schedule, you will know what to do to succeed. In fact, many of you will be able to graduate in 3 years by taking advantage of less expensive summer term courses. I myself graduated in 3 years by taking courses in such summer terms. I encourage you to do the same. Number 2, exert the effort to meet expectations. It is not enough to know what you need to do. You actually need to do it. You must meet expectations at 3 levels: that of individual courses, that of major requirements, and that of institutional requirements. Once again, meeting expectations will require planning and determination. In the words of that great teacher, the most renowned and powerful Jedi Master in galactic history, yea, even the great Yoda himself, do or do not, there is no try. It was not by chance that President Spencer W. Kimball's favorite phrase was simply, do it. Number 3, in order to graduate within 4 years, seek academic, social, and also spiritual support. Dr. Tinto has noted that nothing is more important to student retention than academic support, especially during the critical first year of college. A student can find academic support on this campus from a variety of sources. Foremost are the individual faculty members, whom I now invite to stand and be acknowledged for their dedication to student learning. Visit your faculty members during their office hours or make appointments to see them at mutually convenient times. Trust me, students, a faculty member can get lonely contemplating great thoughts in that ivory tower known as Durham Hall. They want you to come and see them. Further support is found in the tutoring that takes place weekday evenings, also in the ivory tower, also known as Durham Hall, and in the writing lab located in the Von Cannon Library. Each student is assigned an academic advisor. Make sure to visit him or her on a regular basis during the course of your studies. We have a superb study skills class taught by Dr. Karen Walker, who gave that incredible invocation. Counseling is available to deal with stress-related issues through the good offices of a professional counselor, Mike Gibbons. I encourage you to seek out career counseling. That office is found on the 2nd floor of the Kimball Student Center and will open the first week in October. Social support can come through active participation in campus-sponsored clubs, in student government, in musical and theatrical events, intercollegiate and intramural sports, and service activities. Almost all first-year students live on campus. They benefit from a resident advisor. They're also signed up for a learning community. Get to know, as soon as possible, the students in your dorm and in your learning community. Get in the practice of introducing yourself. For heaven's sake, just do it. In fact, take 30 seconds right now and introduce yourself to someone you do not know. Get on your mark, get set, go. I know you. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, that didn't hurt at all. Spiritual support may be found in classes, for example, at the LDS Institute, through attendance and active involvement in the religious congregation of your choice. If you are teaching or are enrolled in an LDS Institute class, would you please stand and be recognized? Number 4, accept assessment and feedback gratefully and act on it graciously and expeditiously. Professor Tinto again, an environment rich in assessment of students' performance and in feedback of information about student performance is another important condition for student success. What this means is that you should be grateful for any and all feedback and that you should act on it with a sincere desire to grow and develop. Academic feedback may come in the form of a teacher's oral comments in class, of a score you receive on a test or on a paper, or even in nonverbal reactions of fellow students to something you say or do in class or in a study group. Ultimately, we all need to learn to assess ourselves. As Randy Pausch expressed this thought in his poignant book, The Last Lecture, quote, "We professors play the roles of personal trainers, giving people access to the equipment, to the books, labs, our expertise. And after that is our job to be demanding. We need to make sure that our students are exerting themselves. We need to praise them when they deserve it and to tell them honestly when they have it in them to work harder," unquote. To reiterate, I submit that 4 keys that will ensure your successful completion of a college degree and earn you that extra $1 million over your lifetime are these. First, know what to do to succeed. Second, exert the effort to meet the course requirements as well as major requirements and institutional requirements or expectations. Third, seek academic, social, and spiritual support. And finally, fourth, accept assessment and feedback gratefully and act on it graciously and expeditiously. Some of you may be wondering, when does the provost get to the Dulce part, the sweet part, the part of his talk when he stops talking about that $1 million, when he addresses how a liberal arts education will not only prove profitable, but also enjoyable, even pleasurable? The moment has arrived. The pleasure of a college education comes from both within the classroom and also outside the classroom experience. Within the Southern Virginia classroom, you can expect to be challenged. If you prepare yourself for the challenge by doing your homework and reading laboratory and library assignments, you will rise to the challenge. You will grow exponentially. If you participate actively in your classroom discussions and debates, you will find excitement in learning new ways of thinking, new ways of approaching problems. Personal development is sweet, and it leads to competence. President Harold B. Lee reportedly had a favorite saying, "It is good to be faithful, but it is better to be faithful and competent." Students completing Southern Virginia's core curriculum have the golden opportunity to attain college-level competence in 3 areas: careful writing, critical thinking, and analytical reasoning. The person who, through enriched classroom experiences, becomes a careful writer, becomes a critical thinker, and has the capacity to reason analytically will enjoy life much more fully. Outside the classroom, you will find a host of extracurricular activities and service opportunities. Research has shown, and here I quote Richard Light, "a substantial commitment to 1 or 2 activities other than coursework for much as 20 hours per week has little or no relationship to grades. Many of your grades won't necessarily suffer. But such commitments do have a strong relationship to overall satisfaction with college life. More involvement is strongly correlated with higher satisfaction." Most of you have already committed to 1 or more extracurricular activities. If you are a member of one of our Southern Virginia choirs or orchestra, a member of student government, or a member of the current theatrical production, Goldoni's The Servant of Two Masters, would you please stand and be acknowledged? We've already recognized our football players. If you're a member of one of our other sports teams, would you please stand and be acknowledged? I repeat, research has shown that a substantial commitment to one or two activities other than coursework for as much as 20 hours per week has little or no relationship to grades. But such commitments do have a strong relationship to overall satisfaction with college life. More involvement is strongly correlated with higher satisfaction. The sweetness in a liberal arts education includes the joy of discovery. Not only the discovery of facts previously unknown to you, but also the discovery that there is much that you do not yet know. The sweetness is revealed in the things that we learn about ourselves as we struggle to understand a challenging poem or solve a difficult mathematical problem. The sweetness lies in learning how to learn through asking questions and questioning answers. The sweetness comes through serving others because we've built our house on a firm foundation. But for most people, the pinnacle of sweetness emerges when dreams become reality. As you enroll in and successfully complete courses in our core curriculum, you'll be exposed to some of the finest music that has been composed, the greatest art that has been created, and the best theater and cinema that has been produced. Embrace the opportunity to learn about these refined things. Your life will be enriched. It will become sweeter. I close by sharing a story, and it's a story that I summarized once before from this podium, but it is worth retelling, for it is the true story of usefulness and sweetness that can come from making the most of one's liberal arts education. Yes, it is the story of one of my Dante students. Smile, people. His name is Ken Wallentine, and he's seen here about to receive a prestigious award from the governor of his state. He is one who has made and continues to make his mark in the world. The article accompanying the photo about him reads as follows. Ken Wallentine received the 2010 Governor's Award for Outstanding Public Service. As the Director of Law Enforcement for the Utah Attorney General's Office, Ken was honored for finding new ways to stop internet predators, child abductors, and undocumented residents who commit violent crimes. The award recognizes an individual for using creativity and resourcefulness to better the community they serve. Ken is, and I'm continuing the quote, a 21st century Renaissance man, says Attorney General Mark Shurtleff. He's a law enforcement officer, an attorney, the author of 2 books, and nationally recognized authority on police work. But Ken's story of refinement is dramatic. He went to college with a specific vocation in mind, and then he enrolled in a course devoted to, guess what? Dante's Divine Comedy. One day he came to my Dante class wearing a suit coat with a slight bulge on his left side. When he raised his hand to respond to a question, I saw a gun holster and the butt of a pistol. My first thought, frankly, was he really didn't like the grade I assigned. But he didn't pull out the pistol, he didn't shoot me, he just answered the question I'd posed. After class, I asked, Ken, why are you carrying a gun? He explained that he worked undercover for campus security on a part-time basis and that he had a gun permit. He told me that from an early age he had known that all he ever wanted to be was a street cop. He wanted to work a beat. He wanted to fight crime in the trenches. In my literature course, I think he initially just loved reading about the punishments in Dante's Hell, where every punishment fits the crime. But the more he read, the more enthused he got about, guess what? Poetry. You might say he was inspired by refined literature, by great thoughts. He ended up taking several literature classes alongside his courses in law enforcement. Then he graduated and became a cop. Years passed, and one day I was surprised to learn that he was graduating from a well-known law school. We got together. He related the story of his transformation. As a cop, working long night shifts, he would tape poems to his car's dashboard and gun rack, and he would memorize the poems. On breaks, he would read plays and memorize lines. His appetite for learning became ever more voracious. Then it happened. One night, while on a stakeout, he found himself crouching in a dumpster, surrounded by filthy, stinking garbage, and about to risk his life for a drug bust. As he inhaled the stench of garbage, he had an epiphany, a revelation. I want a life different from this. I am capable of using my mind to help more people. Ken jumped out of the dumpster that night, having made the decision to take the law school admissions test. Because he had increased his vocabulary and critical thinking skills through his studies in and out of the classroom, he did well on the LSAT. He was accepted to a competitive law school. The rest, as they say, is history. As a lifetime learner, he rose from position to position until now he has been recognized as a 21st century Renaissance man. What is more important, he's making a difference in the world. He is making a mark. The good news is that you don't have to find yourself in a garbage dumpster to realize that education pays big dividends. In particular, a liberal arts education is, to borrow a phrase from my Roman friend Horace, Dulce et Utile. May you realize the value of a liberal arts education by doing all within your power to plan for and complete your college degree. Student nights, that is my dream for you. Please make it a reality not only for the provost, but what is more important, a reality for yourself. Thank you, and...